Super Dave here with another review.
Anti-Eternia-He-man here. I'm coming after you, He-Man. Right there in Eternia from Anti-Eternia. Come on, Battle Cat. Let's go get He-Man in the real Eternia. Let's wreak some havoc.
Super Dave here with another exciting review, and today we have a very special review, not only of a very rare to find Motu Classics action figure in the He-Man category, but also we've got a special surprise of a custom that will go with him. Now I know that the title's already given it away on the opening sequence, but I want to go ahead and make it dramatic. Drum roll, please. All right. There he is. Comes in that traditional brown mailer box that Mattel started using. And there is our Anti-Eternia He-Man. Wow, look at him. That is so cool. And he has that black and red brick pattern all over the packaging. I mean, this is one of those packages. It makes me wish I had another one just so I could keep one mint in package. And I'm not a mint in package kind of collector, but this one makes you just about want one because it's such a beautiful and different design. It has the brick on the side where it says collector's choice. Nothing on this side, just a regular bottom, but it has that red lightning effect around the edge of the box, the brick bottom, and the Masters of the Universe Classics logo in red and black. Then it has that sky in the back, kind of red and black cloud sky in the background. Just so cool. Nothing on the back as far as bio card, except for just some selling points and with the continued theme of that red and black. And another thing interesting about this guy is that there is some bio cards, and they're on the internet. You can look them up. These are not official bio cards, but they're cool. So here's one of them. If you would like to read it, you can pause and read that. But you also got a good look at this guy in some of the comic books, especially that newest Masters of the Multiverse series that came out, which I think they just finished up with the volume 6. So you'll be able to get all 6 of those in September in a graphics novel on Amazon.com. It's already for pre-order. It's supposed to be released in September, so that'll be cool. I'm looking forward to reading all of those. I got the first edition and couldn't get the rest, but this guy's seen in that particular story, so that will be interesting to you. But we've got something very special. But first, let's break this guy open and check out our Anti-Eternia He-Man. And here is the man himself, the anti-Adam, the anti-Eternian, the anti-He-Man, the darkest and most evil man in the universe. Wow, there he is. And we'll be taking a closer look at him in the review booth, but let's first look at his accessories. You could almost say that this Anti-Eternian He-Man is like a ultimate Anti-Eternian He-Man with the accessories that he comes with. We'll be looking at some of those and some customs. The first one that he comes with is this traditional power sword, but of course it's in black. That's right, it's in black. And I know my background's kind of dark, but I think you can see it pretty well there. And that is the first accessory that he comes with. And then the second one that he comes with is, of course, your traditional He-Man shield, but of course in the black and burgundy red color. Really cool. Check it out. And then he also comes with the traditional He-Man battle axe, but of course in black. And he also comes with an alcala sword, which is also in black. Has almost like a black, dark black hilt, and then almost a almost dark gunmetal black blade. The power sword was the same way. The traditional classics power sword. This is the one that's more reminiscent to the comic books, the mini comics, the Alcala, as they call it, style. And then finally, as far as what comes with the He-Man, not counting the extras, the customs that we're going to be looking at, is this really cool dark skull shield, which is really neat. Has like some wings on a red skull. I believe this is the same one, different paint job that came with Castle Grayskull Man, collector's choice as well. Really cool, really neat shield. That's a bonus for sure. And that's the accessories that he comes with. Let's go over to the review booth and check out, get a closer look at our Anti-Eternia He-Man. All right, let's take a look at our He-Man, our Anti-Eternia He-Man here, and get a better look at him. Just look at those eyes, those piercing eyes, where he has that red around the white M there. He's got that almost burgundy-ish dark red with some black, you know, airbrushing almost type black wash in the hair. Looks really good. I love this armor. If we can get the picture clear up here. Love this armor. It's almost a shiny black chest armor against more of a satin finish body. Love that face, how it matches. Everything just looks great. At first, I was really thinking that I would like this head, and I'll put a picture of it up, better than this head. I call this the classics head, and then the other, the vintage head, is usually what it goes by. But I don't know, I like this head as well. And I'll be trying on the other heads. But just like this look, I love the color of the belt and the cross in the middle and the squares on the sides. Just everything is gauntlets, the detail, just everything looks really good about this figure. I like the boot straps, everything, you know, the it's not just all black. There's enough detail added to this figure and contrast between matte and glossy and satin type, you know, finishes. But everything looks great, looks good. I like him. So he's able to look up. He's able to look down. He's able to look down even further if you use that ab crunch, which is very tight on him. Just this type of material. He's able to look back and forward and get a little bit of tilting, not much on the tilting there, on the attitude of the head. He's able to look back up about that much if you bend his back a little bit, which that looks good. That chest poked out, it looks good, to giving that added, you know, because of that ab crunch, he can go back, and it just really looks good on him, doesn't it? I think that looks great. It looks really cool. I'm really getting into this figure. I'm thinking of all kinds of storylines and possibilities that we could use him for. It just really looks good. He's evil, but it's He-Man. It's evil He-Man. I mean, you just got to love this idea. You know, obviously He-Man is like the beacon of good in the storylines, and then to have this nemesis, it's just really cool. His arm can go up just above 90 degrees. Of course, he's got bicep swivel. He swivels there. He has just a single jointed elbow, just swivels at the wrist. He does have the ability to turn at the waist. He has the ability to do the splits, so his legs go all the way out. And he has thigh rotation, really nicely. Those jacked thighs there on our He-Man. Single jointed knees. He does have nice smooth boot cut. That's really good. Of course, he has the ability to go backwards and forwards with that foot. But very much limited on rocker. I'm kind of disappointed in that. I kind of see the joint down in there, but you just don't get much flexibility there, and I don't understand that new design. You know, there's no pin, but it's just, you should be able to get a little bit more of a rock in there, but you could probably force a little bit, but not very much. Maybe you could loosen that up, I'm not sure. But that's his articulation. All right, here he is with the more Filmation or classic style sword and his more classics and just general shield. And here he is with the Alcala style sword, the black sword with that kind of that skull and crossbones, the skull with the wings kind of shield, that evil shield. I guess we could call it Anti-Eternia shield. That's what I'll go with anyway, which I believe, as we said, that's the same type style shield, just different paint scheme than what came with Castle Grayskull Man. So just really cool looking options that you have to be able to pose this guy. And then finally, here's Anti-Eternia-He-man with his battle axe. And so really cool. And I just really like this shield. I think that shield is nice. I just enjoy that type shield. I guess it's just because it's different. I like both of them, but just really cool. All right, so here is our Anti-Eternia-He-man with the Filmation style head. So if I just flip off a few lights here, turn off a few lights other than the red and blue light, hold the black light just over his head, and you see just how those eyes glow in the dark. So check that out. How is that? Let me turn off the blue light and see what we get with just the red. That's cool. Look at there. Wow. That is really, really neat. It's actually brighter in person than what it's coming out on the screen here. Let's see if I can shield it. There we go. You see it now even better. Wow, that is so cool. Check that out. So there is our Anti-Eternia-He-man head that is reminiscent to the Filmation type style head. All right? If you just want to get an idea of how he looks there, just give a little round. And I can notice that what I might need to do is I might need to put just a little bit more of a shine to this face. I'm noticing that the matte finish that I used, I was just afraid of it being too shiny. But now I think I'm actually a little overkill on the matte, so I can go back and touch that up. But you get the idea. That's going to be an awesome looking head. And as you see, with the colors that I chose to paint the hair, it's more reminiscent of this particular head right here, the Classics head, which comes with our Anti-Eternia-He-man. And so it's in that same family of hair color. But I stayed true to the style of the hair, but yet kept the same color with some of that black wash in it, but with that almost dark burgundy-ish red color. All right, now let's check out the other head right quick. All right, so this one has that translucent hair, and this one may be going in the other direction. I did not customize this one. I actually had this one done by someone else named Jose in Mexico, who does, and you can check his Instagram out. I've linked it in the description below. You can connect with him on Instagram or Facebook. I really, really love the way my He-Man head that he did for me came out. I think it looks great. I really think it looks dynamic. I like the look, and I think the skin tone was perfect, and I just like that wind-blown look of this He-Man face. And you can look at it maybe more from a distance, and tail too, that wind-blown look. And it's the same kind of head that our Anti-Eternia-He-man is sporting here. And I also like the head that he did for me with Tila. So I think they came out really good. I think it turned out great, and I'll be doing a review on these head sculpts separately very soon. But that's the one that I got for Anti-Eternia-He-man. So it may be a little shiny in the skin, and I think I can touch that up with some of my matte finish. I'll try that and see, and may be able to post some pictures with him with that. But I'm beginning to think I might like that translucent hair. Now, I could paint that the same way that I did this one, maybe even with some glossier paint. And I may do that. I'm not sure. I haven't made up my mind yet. But right now, I'm digging the translucent hair. It's just different. You can tell the face is a little too shiny because he obviously painted black over that, a shiny, you know, gloss black paint over that translucent sculpt. Because if you look on the inside of this head, you see that all of it was that translucent material like the hair is. But I mean, I'm liking it. I think it's certainly different and it looks cool. I'm just not 100% sure which way I will want to keep it, you know, when it's all said and done. I'm not sure what decision I'll make. I'm definitely going to add a little bit of matte to the face to help with that shine, just to blend it in a little better, and probably add some shine to this one. I can mix some gloss and matte together and kind of help this one out, I believe, as well, without messing anything up. But and I think I'll be able to do the same with this one, or at least add some clear coat matte paint to it just to thin that shine out a little bit. I'm not sure. We'll test it and see. But anyway, there is our heads that we, you know, have compared. And of course, none of the articulation is limited. You can still look down, up, side to side, get even some tilting in there. And so that's really cool. And I'm just very pleased with how these came out. I'm pleased at how this one came out, as well as my, pop this head off, as well as my Filmation one. And I'll let you see that one here in the light one more time. Same thing here. You get up, down, tilting, left to right. So really good articulation. Nothing hindered there. Not sure which head right now. I think the one that it came with is kind of my favorite one until I can get these touched up. But I do like that Filmation head on there. I think that, you know, I'm liking the way that looks. I think that's going to look good even with my Battle Cat. And I'll take some pictures of them, of him riding Battle Cat, of course, and testing that out. But I just think he looks really good. Let me try, I'm going to do something right quick. I'm going to switch this head back right quick to this, and you can see what I was talking about on the inside. That was the translucent all the way through there. Try snapping on his shield here. Get him kind of in a walking pose like he's coming, which is cool looking with that head sculpt. I think that looks really good. And that red may be a little too candy apple red for his hair in comparison to my Battle Cat and some of the trim that this He-Man has, but I don't know. That translucent hair is just it's kind of growing on me. I like it. But we'll take some pictures and check him out with where I've add some matte fix hopefully to this face and see what you think after that. See what we think. All right. All right, to follow up with our head video earlier, I had shown you the video where, you know, I had painted this Filmation style head and it just looked too matte colored. I just about went the opposite direction on this one. This one may be a little too shiny. I may have to check on this and work on it a little bit. May have to paint it with some of that matte finish clear coat. I don't know. That's actually the satin clear coat that I've just painted over the face to give it a little bit more of a shine to match the body. I don't know. Is it too shiny? It's hard for me to tell. Almost looks like it is. It was way too flat before in contrast to the body, and now it almost looks too shiny. And then here's the other face that was way too glossy, and I did put one coat of the matte finish, the clear matte finish on him, and man, it still looks like it's too glossy. So it may just need one more, you know, coat, because this right here has a little bit of shine, but not near as shiny. So I'm just not sure. Satin doesn't seem to work. Matte doesn't seem to work, but maybe I can put a little bit more matte finish over this and it will help it out. And now it is time for what we've all been waiting for, and that's to review and look at a closer look, or zoom in look, at our Anti-Eternia Battle Cat. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, transition. And here is our Anti-Eternia Battle Cat. Wow, just look at this amazing, amazing turnout. I have to say, I'm just so tickled of how he came out. He looks so good. Now, I have not put any kind of clear coat over him yet because I just thought he looked so good without it. And I'm not sure, especially after what I'm going through with these faces, don't want it to mess anything up. But of course, just using a flat paint in a lot of places, especially over the body. Some areas I use satin, and then I used a glossy paint on these stripes, or not stripes, but these raised, I should say, grooves that are on the saddle. I left the inside of the saddle here the same color it was originally because I thought it blended fine. It gives it that leather look. And that's certainly what you want to go for. But I painted everything else. Everything else has been painted except for this leather tassel here. And then the, which I guess is where you can put weapons. You could slide the sword in or the battle axe. And then, of course, here did not paint that because it just has that worn, wet leather look, which is what you want for a saddle. But I just love, I just basically painted where there was yellow stripes. I painted over those yellow stripes with red. And I've got a video that I've shown here of how I painted, or just a little bit of painting, showing me painting him. And you see there where I was painting him patiently and carefully over several weeks. It took me probably close to a month to finish painting this guy, but it's well worth it. And let's go ahead and look. Let's take off. Let's do the unmasking here. It's like the Masked Singer here, isn't it? And there you see, I left the eyes. I did not want to change the eye color, but you can see where I used some of the satin paint because it was a little bit shiner along the edge of his face and top of his head. But just using that matte paint and using some of that matte paint. And then you see also I used a glossy on the nose, kind of give it almost, you know, like a different contrast there on the tip of the nose of the cat here. But just looks phenomenal. Also used some burgundies, kind of the same color as Anti-Eternia-He-man's head, to do his little beard here. You can see that there's a little contrast in color there. He still has all the same articulation, even though I'm trying to be very careful because I don't want to scrape any of this paint off. But wow, to me, it just looks phenomenal. I love the look of this. Just to give you an idea, that's only basically with my ring light and LED, and then the red light on him. So just to give you a little bit more of a different contrast there. But just all the way around. You see the satin finish on the claws. I think it just turned out great. I am very impressed. I love this idea. I've seen some other, you know, Anti-Eternia Battle Cat all black, even one that was all red with like a, you know, all red, like a all red, dark red, and then with just some black stripes or black accents. But I just like the Anti-Eternia Battle Cat to match more of what the you know, the Anti-Eternia-He-man looked like. And so I'll turn back on these lights and take off the saddle here in just a moment here. Bang, let's do it. And here he is. Yes, he is completely painted all the way around, all the way into the inside of the body there at this joint. And again, I don't want to move that. Just overall, you know, just came out superb. And I may very well do a finish on him. It's just hard for me to decide. I was able to mix a little matte and satin together to give this shine, but to try to do that with the varnish or clear coat, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. I'm just a little concerned. I don't want to ruin, you know, I may test it underneath here just to, and there's another place where it scraped off a little bit from putting on the saddle. But overall, I got, you know, all coverage. The tail, I did the stripes there on the tail. Give him a little spin here. There he is. He looks menacing. He looks fierce there. Let's take a closer look at the helmet too while we're spinning this direction. You can see, now this was my choice of colors. I used a dark red in that inner part that kind of went on top of that burgundy that was already there, and then the brighter red on the edges, and then the little, this is actually not silver. I actually used a pearl white to kind of match his eyes, the middle of his eyeball. As far as He-Man, I mean, not this one. I left his eyes yellow and with a red dot in the middle. I just thought that looked good. The yellow and everything don't have to be black and red. But I actually used a pearl white to do these. I actually mixed my pearl white and my red to do these, to give it a pearl look, kind of a pearl look of red. I did do some mix here to mix gloss and satin to give that less of a shine, but to give it a little bit of contrast from the flat to the top of the crown of the helmet. But most of it was done with matte black. Then you can see again the little rivets that I did with the pearl. And you could certainly do that with silver, but I used the pearl white just to contrast, just to bring them out a little bit. And down here on these, again, the pearl white. And I did a pearl, kind of like I did this in his eyes, and then the pearl white for the eyeball on the outside. Let's take a closer look at the saddle as well while we're here. And again, matte finish all over these inside areas, a gloss black on these raised areas. Again, the same pearl that I used on the horns of the helmet, which was a red and pearl white mixture that I did. I used that same thing. Instead of making these just pearl white, these little rivets, I did the pearl red on those just to add some flair. That's the pearl red there. I left that alone, did not paint that. That's part of the saddle here. Thought that looked good by itself. Did the pearl red here, and I didn't paint this either. I meant to mention that I did not paint that strap. Again, it looks like a leather strap, and that looks good, but I did paint the buckle, that pearl red, and then these horns on the front, the pearl color too of the mixture I did. So I just think it turned out great. I just love the way it came out. You can see the original color of the saddle there underneath, and then how it just turned out really good to give that Anti-Eternia-He-man look. Awesome, awesome. I like the way, I'm happy with it. It was worth the effort and the work. Well, I've moved those out of the way. We'll give one final spin to him without his gear here. Just show him to you all the way around. And then I'll put his gear back on and show you one more final spin. So I didn't take anything apart to paint him. I did it just freehand, moving the joints around and doing it as best I could. But I think it was pretty good coverage. You're not going to be able to tell that in most photographs. All right, let me strap on his gear and take one more full 360 turn and show him to you. And then we'll, of course, do some photos with him and Anti-Eternia-He-man. And let's take a final spin just around this dynamic duo, our Anti-Eternia-He-man and Anti-Eternian Custom Battle Cat. Just an awesome dynamic duo. Some painstaking time of just painting this green with yellow striped cat with the contrast of some shine and matte finish, and the trim with some pearl colors as well. Just an excellent, excellent looking Anti-Eternia Battle Cat, if I do say so myself. Now, I can't take full credit for this idea, of course. There's no new thing under the sun, as the Bible says. I did see a similar Battle Cat paint up done on Pinterest, not exactly like this one, but I am just tickled of how mine came out. I just think he looks great, and I'll be doing some more pictures of him in a few. All right, so for this final spin, I'm going to put He-Man with this head on his back there, because he's got that wind-blown look, riding through Eternia to find He-Man and destroy him. Because this is anti-He-Man. This is Anti-Eternia-He-man. He hates everything about He-Man, and he wants to destroy all that the real He-Man loves and appreciates. So that's kind of what he's about. Let's go ahead and zoom in here just a little bit, get an idea of his upper self here. I tried to raise up our Battle Cat He-Man just a little bit so you can get that full effect there. The roar, the growl, the snarl, the teeth, the anger, the power of this Anti-Eternia Battle Cat and He-Man combination. And he's got his axe and his sword ready. And you know, one of the cool things, and I'll use this other sword, and someone else had brought this to my attention. I always thought that it was kind of like in a horse, the saddle places, but you could definitely store his weapons in these little side areas here. And I think that looks cool. Place to store the weapon. You could even store the battle axe, I believe, on there. Let's try it out. But yeah, you could use those straps as the weapon carriers. That works. Pretty cool. All right, there is our Anti-Eternia He-Man and our Anti-Eternia Battle Cat. Let me know what you think. I was just very excited about, and I waited for this head forever before I could finish this video, and he finally came in. But I was pleased how he turned out ultimately, because even though I have to deal with a little bit of that shine, try to get that fixed one more time. I tried to do it before this video, but look, I'm ready to get this thing in the books. And maybe I can get it done before I finish the photos. We'll see. But here is that combination one more time. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you for checking it out. And next time on a Super Dave review, we'll look forward to seeing you. Like, comment, share, or Anti-Eternia Battle Cat will come after you. Thank you again.
Mm-hmm.